Another important part of our book that I think is relevant to people is I don't suggest people do anything that I haven't done myself. So it's not like I feel like I have all these tools, like I have all this wisdom and I know everything, and I have all these ideas for other people to do. I tend to gravitate towards things that I have used or I know people have used, people have told me about, and then I've used. So everything that we suggest in the book are actual tools that we all use to improve our lives, which I think is really relevant. We're not the all-knowing people that just know everything everybody else needs to do. We're all on this journey together trying to figure out how to make the most of life. And so we use the tools along with you. And the idea is the more people that use the tools, the better we do. On the subject of tools, one of the quotes that has really stuck with me over the years that someone had shared with me is, if you only have a hammer, you see every problem as a nail. And that's relevant because sometimes we only have one tool. And if you only have a hammer, then you see everything as a nail. So part of what we do in our book is begin to give people different tools to look at things in different ways. The more tools you have, then the greater perspective you have. If you have a problem that's coming at you, maybe you're having problems in your marriage, and the only way you've ever dealt with problems in your marriage is to ignore it. So you know that you need to talk to your spouse about something, but it's much easier to turn on the TV or open your book than have a conversation about what's really going on. So you fall into that of, oh, I know I have a problem, and I know if I dealt with it, things would get better, but I'm just going to ignore it. So the tool you have at this point is just to avoid it. And you think that often causes less pain if you avoid it. One of the things I'm here to tell you is the more you avoid things, the greater pain that often causes later in your life. So we may suggest in our book a tool of rating how things are in your marriage. And once you rate it, you can then make a decision of, okay, do I want to do something about that or not? Sometimes the tool of just being aware of how things are and taking a look at things is a tool in itself, but we also offer tools of making lists of things or putting it on an action plan so you can make a commitment to actually make a change about it. So one of my favorite parts of the books is the tools section, and beginning to not just have a hammer to deal with your problems, but have a whole backpack of ideas and ways to deal with things. Because when you deal with things in different ways, things change. Another thing I'm often asked is, well, in relationships with other people, doesn't it take two people to change? Like if my daughter or my son or my husband won't change, then what can I do? And I encourage people every day, if you change, that will change the relationship with the person. So if you begin to use our tools in our book and you begin to set an intention to change a relationship with someone in your life and connect with them in a different way, it will make a difference. No matter what the other person does, they don't even have to know that you're working on it. If you engage with people in a different way, their response will be different.